Hey guys, welcome to Manifesting Better. I'm back with another video and another topic that needs to be addressed. I also have an Instagram account. The link for that is in the description box below. Coaching is also available. The link for that too is in the description box below. So, in this video, I will be covering the difference between daydreaming and visualizing. I will also be talking about which one to do when, which one is helpful in which situation, and how to go about it. I will also be explaining what they actually are. By the end of the video, I will tell you which one to use in particular situations. So watch the full video to understand the concept fully, and it will really help you a lot. So first, let's talk about daydreams. What are daydreams? Daydreams are basically fantasies or images that come into our mind where we are thinking about a particular thing in a favorable manner or in a manner that we want it to be. Some characteristics of daydreams are that daydreams are often very surface level. They are not very focused. They often happen when you're doing something else. Daydreams are also some things that can feel good in that particular moment. They can be very scattered and spread out, which means a daydream is often scattered in a particular way, which is it's not something that is going in a one line. So you are thinking about something and then it can break off, and then later the same image comes in your mind or a different image comes in your mind. So daydreams are often scattered and they don't often involve a clear picture. So which means it's not something clear that you're thinking about. It's just there in your mind. You know that something is there, but you haven't paid it enough attention right now to understand that fully and to get into that feeling fully. Daydreams can be a good way to manifest, and daydreams do work in some events in your life. And by the end of the video, after explaining everything, I will tell you which situations to use daydreams for. Now comes visualizing. What is visualizing and how to get into it? Visualization is a very good technique to manifest what you want. It can help you get into the state of living in the end very, very powerfully if you do it correctly. No, visualization is not the only technique. You can use other techniques too to get you what you want, but visualization is often a very powerful one. It is more focused. It is way more focused than the daydream. So in visualizing, it's not that it's scattered. It's that you are sitting and you are particularly planning one scene or one feeling that you want to feel. You are going into it in a deep way. You are involving all your senses. You are involving your touch. You are involving your hearing, your smell, your listening, like everything. You are involving everything into it. It is often very, very deep, which means it can provide you the feeling of what you want deeply in your mind, and it can take you to a certain sense of calmness and peace, knowing the naturalness of your desire in your body. Now, how are daydreams different than visualization? When we daydream, sometimes what happens is that it can often be a way to escape reality, which means in daydreams, oftentimes what happens is that daydreams can become an excuse for us to not deal with the things that are in front of us. So for example, let's say I'm in a friends with benefits situation and I wanted to turn into a relationship, but it is right now not working out. And in my mind, I have this daydream that keeps going on that I want a relationship. And right now I'm miserable in the relationship that I have and I don't want to be in it anymore because I want more. Daydreams often can make you think that, hey, this relationship right now is not what I want, and I will just ignore it. I will just live in my mind in the daydream. And that can often remove you from the problem, which is not always helpful. Because what is happening here is that the daydream is preventing you from creating a boundary which can cement your new self concept. Whereas in visualization, what happens is that after you visualize, it gets you into a state of very powerful knowing that, hey, what I want is mine and I don't have to settle for less. What I want is my desire and my desire is done. If what I want is done, then I don't have to settle for anything less. And then you can create appropriate boundaries based on your new self concept, because you know that my creating these new boundaries will eventually result into me receiving what I want, not because of any other reason, but because I respect myself and I want the full thing. Daydreams can often also give out reactions because you are not actually saturating yourself. You just have this small feeling in your mind that is coming up, but it is not focused on deeply. And what happens is, while you are in a daydream, you don't want to actually see the physical world and learn from it and deal with it. You just want to run away from it and escape it. And in that moment, what happens is that when there is something that comes up, you don't have that knowing inside of you that what you want is done. So you keep reacting to the physical world. Whereas in visualization, what happens is that you get into that saturated feeling that what I want is done. And if you know what you want is done, you would have a tendency to respond instead of reacting. So instead of fighting the physical world, you would have that knowing in you that I don't have to fight anything. If in my mind my desire is done, if I'm embodying that version of myself for whom the desire is done, if I'm acting appropriate to the version of myself who knows my desire is done, that I don't need to react to get it done. I just have to respond in a manner that I know that it is. Now, it's not that one technique is better than the other. There are some situations where daydreams can be wonderful, and there are some situations where visual scenes can be wonderful. And when I say visual scenes, I mean any focused work. So, even affirmations, for that matter, if scripting for that matter, any focused work can work the similar way. So, the differentiation would be a similar manner. Daydreams can be good for smaller events in your life. So, has it ever happened that you just thought about a friend and they just texted you? Or you just thought about something and it just came in front of you? Or you were thinking about a particular movie and you just saw someone with the same name in that movie? Or like something happened, or you thought about a donut and someone came and gave you a donut. In which scenario, what you did is there was a scattered thought in your mind related to that one thing that you wanted, and it started coming into your life. So daydream is often good for things that are not outside of your belief system, which means things that you find easy to manifest, things that in your mind are easier to get, and things that you have lesser resistance against. For those things, daydreams can be a good thing. But in scenarios where it is related to a desire that you really, really want, and where you have a lot of old stories involved, and where you have a lot of resistance involved, and where you have a lot of fears involved, daydreams might not work, because daydreams can take you away from the reality that is there. And instead of accepting that it looks this way and it can change, what you do is you start thinking that it doesn't, and you don't actually embody the version of yourself because you feel like I don't have to. It is not focused, and what happens is that while you're in that daydream, you're actually not dealing with the resistance that is coming up, because you're actually not focusing on the feeling of having it fully. You're just focusing on it in a scattered way. So daydream can get you those results in the longer and the manifestations that you consider bigger too, but they are often not fulfilling results. So maybe you thought about your specific person and they texted you, but it's not the exact text that you wanted, or that text doesn't lead into the full relationship that you want. Whereas in visualization is often helpful for things that you have a little bit more resistance against. Now again, when I say visualization, I mean affirmations or scripting or any focused activity. It is more helpful. Why? One, because it involves all your senses. That's the first thing. Second thing, it is very focused. In here, you are focusing on what you want deeply. You are getting into the feeling deeply. You are connecting it to yourself deeply. The third thing that is happening when you are in that zone is that resistance, when it comes up, you can appropriately deal with it. But resistance won't come up till you have focused properly. So resistance won't happen if you're just thinking about it sometimes and not. And I don't mean that you have to think about it 24/7. I mean that if you are doing any focusing method, do it properly instead of doing it in a scattered way. Allow your body to be saturated with the feeling of power that comes when you know that you can have what you want. Just do a small activity with me right now here. Just think about what you want. Let's say it's a relationship. Just think about it for 2 seconds and then drop it. Just think about it. Let's say you think about the relationship that, hey, maybe this person loves me, and you drop it. And do the comparison here. Let's just think about it properly. You think about it, you sit down, you take a few deep breaths, you allow that thought to come into your mind and you allow it to spread it into your body. You feel the full feelings of having it. You involve your touch, your senses, your listening, everything. You feel everything that desire can provide you in your body. And then you have this feeling of power surging inside you that tells you that what you want is yours. Which one do you think is more powerful? Is it the visual scene or is it the daydream? Of course, it's going to be the visual scene, which is going to provide you that feeling fully. So yes, in conclusion, daydreams are good. They can work with things that you don't have a lot of resistance against, and which come under your belief system, and they can help you manifest what you want, and in smaller areas of your life. Even in the bigger manifestations, they can provide you some results, but oftentimes visualization is the, or any, when I say visualization, I mean affirmations or any focus method, any meditation tool. So you sit down and you meditate on your desire, even that too, they help you get into the state of knowing that I have what I want. They help you get into the state of power that I have what I want. And that can often be a very good way to get you into the feeling of the end result and the feeling of that it is done. In another video later next week or later this week, I will be covering a topic of how to combine persistence with letting go. So there I will be talking more about the topics that I'm talking now. I will be covering the topic of daydreaming and visualizing and how to get into the state where you are also persisting and you're also letting go. So watch out for that video, and please watch this one fully before getting into that, because this is going to be the basic, and there I will be covering it in detail. Will probably come in the next week. I will see you guys in the next video.
Click the like button if you liked the video. Subscribe and turn the notifications on for more such content. Comment down your video suggestions and I will see you guys in the next one.